Third-party content has been copied and communicated pursuant to Part 5A or 5B of the Copyright Act, unless indicated otherwise.
Awesome. Thank you. Firstly, big thank you for everyone for coming today. I know it's warm outside, so this is a pretty good place to be in the air conditioning. My name's Charmaine Ferguson. I'm working here at Deakin and heading the implementation of building information modelling into architecture and construction management. And this is one of the first BIM events at Deakin, and we hope to be running more of these, at least once every few months. So keep your eyes out on your emails as well for emails from myself or Matt also. And we'll keep you informed about these types of BIM events, and they'll be on different topics, and we've got some ideas for upcoming events. And if you have any ideas or you want any information, this is quite a casual, I guess, presentation and a casual forum here. So if you have any ideas or anything that you want to know more about, please feel free to talk to one of us after the presentation, and hopefully we'll be able to sort something out in an event style. So, as you can see, the agenda for today, we've got myself. I'll be speaking pretty much on education, BIM in education, and the way education is changing in relation to technology. We've got Matt here. Hi, Matt. Matt's from Adelaide, but lived in Melbourne for the last 7 years, and he's found out Collingwood's a bad team, so he's all right to stay and claim himself as a Melbourne man. But Matt runs a blog called Think BIM, and he'll be talking a lot about IFC and other different, I guess, more related to industry type topics. And John here is a Warrnambool man, so we've got some nice local BIM talent, but he's currently based in South Africa, and he'll be doing a lot, again, industry-based, and some demonstrations as well of some software. So we'll kick it off with the education. A little bit. Yeah, I'll put Brenton into my presentation. We've got Brenton White here. He's from Autodesk Education. So for those who are students, can I just have a raise of hand who are students here from Deakin? Excellent. So good to see you guys here. You're pretty much taking a step in the right direction in your education, coming to events like this and getting as much information about BIM as possible, because I guarantee it is the way of the future. And it's not just me standing here saying it's going to change. It is going to change. It's not a phase. So for all those students, thank you again for taking the extra time to come to this event. So myself, I actually started at TAFE here in Geelong. I'm born and bred Geelong girl, and I started at TAFE and went on an exchange to Denmark. I've actually spent the last 4 years in Denmark. I studied for the first 2, and then I got into education itself in Denmark, teaching at the university over there. I also have worked with one of the largest drawing offices in Denmark, being Schmidt Hammerlassen Architects, and that's where I got my, I guess you could say, BIM start. Personally, I've never really taken a BIM course or been to a BIM lecture, I guess, in a strategic manner. I've taught a lot of it myself through research, trial and error, and a lot I learnt through Schmidt Hammerlassen on big BIM projects that they were doing, and I just picked up what they were doing and have applied it to my own projects and in education as well. Also, you've got the small Design Engineer Construct. This is a little program that I'm hoping to bring to Australia itself and start at base it here in Geelong, and that's in relationship to BIM and high school students. So we're looking at starting this BIM education not just at a university level, but even going further down the line to high school students as well. And I'm also going to speak a little bit about, in America, Autodesk University. Put your hands up if you've heard of Autodesk University. A few of you. Who's been to Autodesk University? Yeah, Autodesk and Matt. That's kind of a conference I went to in December last year that has a lot to do with not just BIM, but technology itself and up-and-coming movements in the design and construct industry. So the importance of BIM in education. I think these 2 pictures here are a perfect representation of where the future is going. This is in 1993, and my My grandpa had the only computer in the family. He had a big DOS, big little screen but massive unit that we'd all run to and try and sit and get to play Pac-Man first. That's 20 years ago. Now, I'm sitting with my friend's 2-year-old daughter who's moving the mouse and interacting with that's actually a BIM model there, and moving around the model itself. And she knows everything about it and is so intuitive and adapts to technology just like that. And I think that's one of probably the scariest things, is that the younger generation coming up now are so tech savvy, I guess you can say, that they're going to know a lot more than, and it's easier for them to learn than what we can now. So the importance of putting BIM into education is that technology supports the BIM process. And if we don't do it, and if we don't change the universities and even the high schools now, industry who are right now trying to adapt BIM are going to suffer. So it's kind of an unbalanced process at the moment that we're really trying to change here, and especially at Deakin with implementing BIM. If you've got time, or I'm sure someone, you can jump onto YouTube. Logan LaPlatte, he's a 13-year-old schoolboy. If you Google him or YouTube him, he did a TED Talk on school hacking. Now this to me was ingenious. He's planning his own education by not going to traditional school, but using online teaching resources and educating him and himself about what he wants to do and how he wants to do it. If you have a chance, I highly recommend that TED Talk. It only goes for about 10 minutes. I'd show it today, but just write it down. And this 13-year-old boy, his main question, when you're asked the question, he says a lot of adults ask him, what does he want to be when he grows up? And his answer to that is, I want to be happy and I want to be healthy. He goes, I don't know what I want to do, but I know what I want to be. And he thinks, a 13-year-old kid thinks that our education system is so, I guess, messed up or unbalanced that we don't have that balance of life and work, that he wants to change it with this freedom of learning. So the first country I guess I want to stop in is the USA, and this was my trip to Las Vegas. It was a 4-day conference. So if any of you are thinking about investing in going to Autodesk University, this was my second trip there, and I presented in the Education Summit at the Autodesk University. And if you have questions or want clarification on what it is really about, please come and ask me. I don't work for Autodesk at all, so I'm here just being brutally honest about it. So one of the main things in the bottom left-hand corner, we had students from all over the world who are a part of this student network group. And the students at Deakin, if you want information about being a part of that network group, come and see me after as well. And they ran a design slam. So they had these university students running in 10 minutes designing, for example, the manufacturing students were designing headphones and I think there were connections, bolts and different types of connections for mechanical cars and things like that in 10 minutes using digital design software. So that's what the students are really focusing their time and energy on at the moment, and I think that's where industry needs to start picking it up again. So Autodesk University was a fantastic place where there was a lot of, I guess, innovation, networking. If you ever want to network, Autodesk University or even any Autodesk forums are probably one of the most positive things that you can do. Collaboration. From this event, I've worked with some people in the UK when I talk about Create Your Own Classroom a little later on, and White Frog as well in regards to teaching and online resources. So collaborating with these other experts in your industry was a fantastic way to get new ideas, to see the products in action and speak to other experts involved. And online learning, as I said, and as Logan, the 13-year-old boy says, online learning is the way of the future. It's what's going to happen. People are going to want to teach themselves what they want to know and what they need to know. And things like Tekla Campus, they have a fantastic resource online for the structural engineers or even the architect students. Go ahead and have a play. It's all free. It's all there online. Globally, Training and Whitefrog are also other online learning resources where you can get information for those who are here about Revit and things like that as well. And the online learning courses, MOOC and Google Course Builder, they're just going crazy these days with everybody uploading how to do things. I just tiled my kitchen. I'm definitely not a tiler, but I just YouTubed how to do it. Didn't pay a tiler, but that's the way that the world's working. People can look up what they want to do and how they want to do it through online learning. And if I get Brenton, did you want to say a few words about the student expert group or Autodesk students? So for the students, just quickly.
Yes, I'm Brenton White, work for Autodesk. I manage education programs for Japan, Australia, New Zealand and Korea. So thank you, Charmaine and Matt, for the invite down today. So I'm actually based in Melbourne. The AU is where I met Charmaine 2 years ago, where I got lost. So I think 8,000 people attend, and I went up to Charmaine and said, "Do you know what this lecture theatre is?" And I said, "Hey."
I think it was the lunchroom.
Was it
the lunchroom?
After lunch, the accent was a giveaway of where we came from. So, but what we do at Autodesk is really try to help people learn and use our technology. So our Autodesk education community, which is just at autodesk.com/education, students and educators can register. We currently get about 50,000 new registrations per year, and there you can download a full version of our software for free. Currently wrote about 370,000 copies of software that's been downloaded over the last 3 years. But that's just one part of getting the software. At one of the sites on there, which is the BIM workshop, we have a full curriculum that was initially developed by Stanford and Columbia University in the UK, and that's freely available with all units of work going through, which people use in terms of lectures, but also to learn themselves. Now that was all encased in our education community. We've had great demand from industry about it as well, so now we've made it free for industry. So they can Google Autodesk BIM workshop, and industry can look at those sites and use the resources to learn more about BIM and how to incorporate that into your workplace. With AU, we normally sponsor a couple of students to go from each country. Last year we didn't from Australia, we did from Korea and Japan, but we will be looking at potentially sending students there next year. So the student expert program that Charmaine mentioned, we'll probably work together a bit on that and invite you to that and join. And the students that do great things, we like to invite them over to be part of that great learning network. I'll be around afterwards too, so if you want to learn about anything more that I've just mentioned there, please come up and see me and we'll have a chat.
Excellent. Thanks, Brenton. The next country, as Brenton mentioned, Northumbria, they also have a BIM academy in the UK. So I guess they're probably, I would say, about 5 years ahead of us over in Europe. And BIM academy is an entire course. It's a 3 years, I think it's part-time master's course onto either, you don't have to be an architect to do this, so you can be an engineer, construction management, as long as you've got a degree, you can enter the BIM Academy and learn everything about BIM. And this is something that I believe that we need in Australia, and something that I hope that Deakin will, in time, take baby steps first now, will adapt and create some sort of a BIM Academy and a BIM environment where people can collaborate and work together in that respect. So that's the BIM Academy, but this main picture here, design, engineer and construct, create your own classroom. This is a curriculum developed in the UK about 5 years ago by a land surveyor who has created an entire course for high school students. So 14, I'd say age 14 to 16-year-old students who learn maths, English, sustainability, science, engineering skills through the application of building information modelling. So they take this built environment and they use this in their high schools to learn and work together, create presentation skills and get those life skills that can't necessarily directly be taught. And I think this is fantastic. It's not in Australia yet. For those who have children or brothers or sisters or friends who go to a high school here in Geelong, I'm looking for a high school to implement this into as soon as possible. So out the front, there's a few of these little flyers with my name and number. If you have any connections or you know any schools that would be interested in applying this built environment education into, please let me know. I'll just show you a little video of what it really is about. And you can see this is some way that the way that education is moving to in the future. Going a bit frozen. Love technology. I might just leave it. You can go to designengineeringconstruct.com and you can find this video here. This next one, hopefully this next one works a bit smoother, is some of the schools that have already adapted to it. There's 72 schools in the UK, and it's now being trialled as of last week in London at a school as well. Sorry, not in London, in Scotland, in a school as well. And these are students who went to BIM Live, which is at a massive BIM conference in the UK, and presented there in front of industry as well. So you've got to remember these are just high school students.
Because I like the practical side towards it. I also believe that if I do carry on with engineering, I could become an engineer in the future.
We young people know things that grown-ups don't, such as creating a space that makes us comfortable and that encourages us to be innovative and creative. We young people have universities and orders. We have creative minds and don't need restrictions. Being involved in the development of the building project has shown us that there's a whole world of professional careers in construction, not only architects and engineers, but also accountants, lawyers and a whole host of other specialisms. We young people are not fazed by technology. We could even help the older generations to grasp new concepts.
So that there is what's happening in the UK, and they're starting at such a young age now and picking up these technologies quite fast. I'm actually hoping to try and teach my cousin's 8-year-old son to use Revit and see how he picks it up. So it's very interesting to see how these technologies are pretty much already embedded into the new generation. At my work in Denmark, I worked at another university there after I graduated. And I set up one of the projects that is still being talked about, not only in Denmark, but it's what I just spoke about at AU, and that was the Unity project. And this was designed because I felt that education was so restricted that architects were being taught architectural things, engineers were being taught engineering things, and that was it. And you'd go into the workplace and you'd actually have to communicate, I guess, with the other side. And I don't think that's really taught in universities, and I think it's something that really needed to be addressed. So I ran a pilot project. At the university there were 8 different departments and 7 got involved. Nursing wasn't very interested, but at least we had, I guess, the social learning, social work, education involved. And we all worked together on one project, and that was a kindergarten for children with disabilities at the university. So I've got another little video here. You can see that the school was an international school, so not only was it like multidisciplinary, it was also multicultural. So there were students from all over the world working within the one space. And we used a lot of, I guess, Autodesk software, everything from Inventor to Robot for the structural design, to create this building. and put it together all in BIM 360 Glue, which is a collaborative tool used in the cloud. For those who are working with structural engineers, this is something that can, or architects working with structural engineers or vice versa, something that can be very well implemented and used to communicate with other teams in the project. So I'll just play this quick little video for you, hopefully you got one. This was done by a marketing department.
The aim of the project is to unite the entire campus here, all 8 departments, from social learners and nursing, through architecture, engineering, marketing, global business and IT, all 8 departments here at VIA in one project. We've decided to create a kindergarten at the end of the college. The reason we chose to do that is so that all departments can be involved, so the mechanical engineers and global business can create products, and the architects, engineers, etc. can design the building. That way we can all work as a team on the one project, hence Project Unity.
In the Unity project, I'm working close together with the construction architects and with the global business engineer students, and trying to show why it's so important to have more departments working together at the same table.
For this project we are hoping to get energy analysis and also try to make the building perform better, sustainably wise, energy wise as well. And I believe this is a great future perspective and I'm going to look for a job.
I'm working in a building design team as a structural engineer, and so far we already discussed some floor plans and some initial design of the building.
I am in the product design team, and here is where we will develop concepts to which we will be able to apply them into the kindergarten that we're designing. And one thing we have to do is we'll be using this Autodesk products, like for example Inventor, to be able to make some of these concepts come to life.
IT team is going to work in collaboration with the product design team and constructing architect. I hope we're going to make something really nice together, and I'm happy that I can finally put the theory into practice.
So I guess in Denmark it was a little bit more easy to run such a project like this because we were all in the one school, all in the one location, and their education system is a little bit more lenient and not so, I guess, strict as we have it here. But it was a very successful project. The students now are actually taking their knowledge and their experience from this project into practical placement, so they're still studying, and yeah, we've only had very good feedback. So hopefully in the future it would be great, especially here at Deakin, to run something similar with the engineering school as well as with the architects as well. So here at Deakin, what we're doing is we're implementing BIM into the current education. So as we go through this year, the next two trimesters will probably be the biggest changes that will happen on all years. So we're going to be implementing BIM into key areas in construction management and in architecture. So I won't go into too much detail about this, but the way to implement BIM, I guess we took it as changing whatever is existing in the education and I guess updating it, because things haven't all changed, it's just the process that's changed. So in order to do this, we've taken key areas of, as I said, of these, both of these courses and updating them as we go. The key date here, the 1st of July 2016, the National BIM Initiative report has recommended to the Australian government that all government buildings now, from this date, will be put into, or will be executed using the building information modelling process. So this is going to happen. It's going to start at the big scale in the government, and I guess the states will then follow suit and require it for individual states, different requirements. But it is going to happen, and that's why we are moving forward in education as well. Just before I finish up, by preparing to fail, or by failing to prepare, you are preparing to fail. So my recommendation out there to both industry and students is to get as much knowledge as you possibly can. Get onto blogs, Google, research, read what other people are writing, read up some white papers and things like that. Get involved in BIM now, because the more you know about it, the more you can understand how it's going to adapt and how it's going to affect either your education or your business. So thank you very much, and I'll now pass on to Matt, who's going to talk a little bit more. Thanks, guys.